Welcome live from the Joe Pritz Field here in Billings, Montana, as this is this is the second day of the doubleheader of the four-game series. Hardhats, they swept the Missoula Mavericks 2 games yesterday here on this Mother's Day. We'd like to thank all the moms that we couldn't have done it without them, but we'll take a listen here to listen to the lineup.
Center fielder, number 19, Lars Keeper. Second baseman, 18, Wyatt Reeder. In left field, we have number 27, Kane McLeod. First baseman, number 22, Jace Morgan.
So Broden Sales, the left-handed pitcher
Right
for
fielder,
the
number 23,
Hardhats,
Johnson.
will be on the mound for
DH
today.
today is number 21, Josh Elder. Catcher, number 16, Carter Brager. Third baseman, number 12, Dawson Inhofer. And pitching up on the mound for 22 is number 28, Broden Sales. For Missoula Mavericks, first batter is going to be second baseman, number 2, Carter Taylor.
So behind the home plate today for the Hardhats will be number 16, Carter Brager, as Josh Elder will be the DH today as well. So Sales will get his final pitches in for the warm-up, and leading off for Missoula will be number 2, the second baseman, Carter Taylor. So the Hardhats, they'll all meet in the middle. We're ready to go here for this Sunday Mother's Day doubleheader. Hardhats still undefeated of the season. Sales and Brager with the fist bump, and they're ready to go. As they went over the defense, Roberts playing shortstop today with, on the infield, Wyatt Reeder at second base, with Jace Morgan playing first, and at third base, Dawson Inhofer. That's what the infield is looking like, with Kiefer in the middle at center. So the first pitch here coming from Sales, this one is going to be in. That'll be for ball one, and with the scoreboard, it took a malfunction yesterday, so we will not be having it for the rest of the games today. So we'll try my best to update you with the score and the count. Sales on the second pitch. This one is going to be popped up. Brager is going to be under it, and Brager, this one's going to go out of play, so that puts the count to 1-1. So it's a 1-1 count for Taylor leading off for the Mavericks. Brager playing his second game behind the plate to the 1-1 count. Sales with the pitch, it comes. This one's going to be right down the middle for strike two. So the 1-2 count. The leadoff hitter of this game for Taylor. And the lefty Sales. And he winds, and this is the pitch. And that one's going to go up high, so that's going to be for ball two. So the count evens itself back up at 2-2. And now Sales gets the call from Brager. Here's the pitch. This one down low. So this one goes to 3 balls, 2 strikes on the full count. On the leadoff hitter here on Mother's Day, the doubleheader. So they will get ready. Sales to the 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch. This one swings. Taylor's going to hit this one to left field. McLeod is there. This one's going to go by him. So Taylor's going to round first. McLeod picks it up off the wall on the warning track. And this one will throw to third. So that's going to be a leadoff double for Taylor on the 3-2 count that he had.
Next up for the Mavericks, number 7, Ryland Davis.
And now Davis, the left fielder, he will come in to bat following that leadoff double for their second baseman, Carter Taylor. Davis also had a stint of pitching yesterday. So he gets ready. He steps in the box with Broden Sales, starting pitcher here for the Hardhats. Here in the second at-bat of the game. Sales, here comes the pitch. This one's going to be swung. Reeder, the second baseman, sliding. That one's going to get through. Runner rounding third, and the run is going to go in home. So they're going to score one. And that'll be an RBI single for Ryland Davis, the left fielder. So 1-0 for Missoula.
Next up, number 10,
Two at-batters in.
Nico Larson.
And now Coulter Nico Larson, the shortstop, hitting third in the order with a runner at first. And Reeder playing second base today. He played first base for both games yesterday. Jace Morgan, who's playing first base. And here comes the pitch from Sales. This one's going to get hit right between short and third. So that's going to be a base hit. So another single, back-to-back singles, and 3 hits in a row. So that's going to put runners at first and second. And then now Owen Felton, the third baseman.
Next up, number 9, Owen Felton.
So runners at first and second. After that hit went right through the gap between short and third. And Brager, as he will give a call here to Sales. So with no runners out here in the top of the first inning, Mavericks up to a 1-0 lead here early. And now Sales, as he gets the call from Brager behind the plate. Runners at first and second, takes a gander back at second. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to go down low for ball 1. So 1-0 count for Felton, the third baseman. To the 1-0 count, Sales takes a look back. Backing off, there's the shortstop Roberts. This one's going to get fouled up and out of play. So to the 1-1 count. Ball and a strike with no outs here in this first inning. So the 1-1 count. Sales, so he waits the call from Brager. He gets it. The runners at first and second for the Mavericks. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to get hit up as Reeder calls for it, the second baseman. So that's going to be the first out. Pop to second.
Next up,
So that's the first
13,
out.
Easton Reimers.
I will try to get the camera fixed as it's focused on the fence. I'll try to fix that here in the middle of the innings. I apologize for that. So it's still with runners at first and second. This will bring Easton Reimers, the first baseman, up to bat with 1 down. On top of the first inning, 1-0 lead for the Mavericks. Sales. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be the curve in for strike. So it starts off 0-1 for Sales in this count to Richardson. Or excuse me, Reimers playing first. Reimers also pitched in that second game last night. That game was a 3-2 win for the Hardhats. That went down. That'll be for the first ball of the count to the 1-1. So Sales retrieves the ball back to Reimers in the box to the 1-ball, 1-strike count with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. 3 hits already on the board for the Missoula Mavericks. Here comes the pitch, and that one swings and misses for strike 2. So to the 1-2 count. Sales looking for his first strikeout today. 14 pitches on in for Sales. Takes a look back at second. And that one's going to get behind Brager. And that one's just going to slide, so that will be for ball 2. So still the 1-2 count. 1-2 count with 2-2 now. And Sales with the pitch. This one swings. This one's going to go to the mound, but Reeder bobbles this play. So that's going to be 1 out and couldn't get the first out. So they get 1 out at second, but that's going to be a single base hit for Reimers. So now this will bring up Remington Howard, the right fielder.
Next up, number 18, Remington Howard.
So Howard now with runners on the corners at first and third, as we're now hitting 6th in the lineup order for the Mavericks. And now Sales takes a look back at first, and this one down in the dirt takes the balance, but Brager got it all of it. So to the 1-0 count to start this at bat. For Howard, playing right field for the Mavs. And now Sales Runner off of first. He's going to pick off. That one is there, but he'll stay in safe. Morgan yesterday fluctuated between designated hitter and outfield. So to the 1-0 count, Sales, here's the pitch. This one's going to be fouled off to the right. So to the 1-1 count we go now with 2 outs here in this first inning. Mavericks still hold on to that 1-0 lead. So he gets a thumbs up from the umpire. Sales looks straight ahead at first base. Here's the pitch. This one's going to be in for strike 2. So 1-2, Sales throws the strike down the middle. Had Howard watching. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in this top of the first inning. Runners at first and third for the Mavs. Sales ready to deal. Takes the last look at first. Here comes the pitch, that one down in the dirt. Brager, so there's going to be a rundown between second and home. And there's going to be 1 run that comes in, and they're going to keep going back and first there at first and second. Taking another one, that one, Morgan got a tag on him, or loses the ball. Did he get him? And he says safe. So a rundown, they're going to get 1 run scored in. So 2-0 for Missoula and that rundown. So the count will go to 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of this first inning. In game 1 of the doubleheader, with Howard still in the box, and they have a runner at first still after he was chased down following that ball that went down in the dirt. Brager got under it. So 2-2, Sales takes a look over at first. Morgan in ready position. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to go outside. That's going to be for ball 3. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. For Howard in at bat. And now taking a step off is Sales. So Morgan will go off of first base. So to the 3-2 count for Sales here on Howard. Takes a look over at first. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be down low. So walks Howard.
Next up, number 5, Caden Tennis.
Runners on first and second for the Mavericks with the catcher Caden Tennis up to bat. Tennis also went from catcher into the infield in yesterday's game. Started out the first game as the catcher, and that's what he's doing back again today behind the home plate. So 2 outs here in the top of the first inning now, 2-0. Mavericks have the lead here early in this game. Sales with the first pitch of this at-bat. This one's going to go behind off the fence. Brager plays it, gets under it, but runners advance to second and third following the wild pitch. And Sales checking that ball. He'll keep it. So 1-0 count. So now that puts from runners to first and second to third and second. Sales returns back to the mound. Tennis, that pitch just got a little out of control. Went down in the dirt and then hopped over the head of Brager and then back to the fence where he played it. Didn't have to throw it or anything. So the 1-0 count, Sales with the pitch. That one goes inside. That's going to be for ball 2. Tennis slightly turned away, avoiding being hit by pitch. So to the 2-0 count, Sales delivers this pitch. This one goes up high. That'll be for ball 3. So 3-0 count with 2 outs. With Tennis hitting 7th in the batting order for the Mavericks. And Brager gives them the call. Sales likes it. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be for a walk. So bases will come loaded following that walk from Tennis. As we're going to have a quick time, a mound visit here from Coach. I'll try to fix the camera here. try to fix it after this inning will be over. I know that fence is in focus. So now the new batter.
Next up, number 17, Andrew Richardson.
The DH, Andrew Richardson, with bases loaded with 2 outs here in this first inning, 2-0 for the Mavericks. And 26 pitches in for Sales here in this first inning. Here comes the first of this at-bat. That one's going to go up high for ball 1. Brager just got that left arm up quick to get that one. So the 1-0 count for Sales, hitting now 8th in the order. So 1-0 count, Sales with the pitch, that one down in the dirt. Brager got it under that one to keep that one from going behind him. So the 2-0 count we go. So 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs. Sales. He's ready. Here comes the pitch. This one's inside. That one will be for ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes with 2 outs here with bases loaded. A 2-0 lead for the Mavericks. So back in the box goes Richardson. Sales on the 3-0 count. And now here comes the pitch. This one in for a strike right down the middle. So 3-1 following that pitch. That was the 30th pitch already from Broden Sales. Count as a strike. So a 3-1 count. Now Sales to the 3-1. Here comes the pitch. That one down in the dirt. So he'll walk in with bases loaded. So 3-0. That'll bring the score. So bases remain loaded following that walk from Richardson. Now Bryce Ostrom, the center fielder. So 3-0 here in this first inning in favor of the Mavericks. Sales. Here comes the pitch, the first one for Ostrom. That one's going to be in for a strike. So starts 0-1. Three hits with 3 runs for the Mavericks. 0-1 with 2 outs. Sales, here comes the pitch. That one goes up high. Brager gets that arm up quick for the first ball of the count.
Up right now, number 4, Bryce Ostrom.
So a 1-1 count now for Ostrom, the center fielder. Sales this pitch down in the dirt, gets away from Brager. They're going to bring in a runner home from third. Brager sliding throw to first. That one gets away from him. So that makes it 4-0. Another runner. As there's going to be another rundown. No one's covering third. Sales trying to run him out. Sliding in his tennis. He stays in safe to third. So now with runners at second and third, now 4-0 for the Mavericks here in this first inning. To the 2-1 count. Sales takes a second here off the mound. So Ostrom back to the 2-ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Sales with the 35th pitch of the game. This one swings, fouls off to the 22 dugout. So that puts the count to 2-2. 2 outs. Inhofer playing third base, gets that foul ball, throws it to the 22 dugout. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Sales to Ostrom. Here's the pitch. That one, it goes up high. That'll be for ball 3. So to a 3-2 count. 2 outs, only runners at second and third. And a big first inning here for the Mavericks, up 4-0. Sales, here comes a pitch, swings. Taylor, this one's going to left field. McLeod is under it, and it's just caught. So the fly to left field, that'll do it for the top of the first inning. as we saw a leadoff double from
Okay,
Carter
in the top of the
Taylor,
first, we
and
have
then
4
right after that, it
runs
was
on
a
3
RBI
hits,
single
0
from
errors,
Davis.
and
Nico
2
Larson
left
got
on
on base, and then Reimer started it, and then 3 walks in a row from Howard,
Leading off for the
Tennis, and
Hardhats will
Richardson.
be number 10, Aiden
So they'll take a
Roberts.
quick break. Starting pitcher for the Mavericks will be Devin Leary, and then leading off for the Hardhats will be Aiden Roberts. So we'll take a second here. I'll try to fix this camera. I'll be right back. So final pitches coming from the starting pitcher for the Mavericks, Devin Leary, and leading off for the Hardhats, Aiden Roberts. Had 2 home runs in the doubleheader yesterday. So Roberts, who comes in a 4-0 game here, bottom of the first inning. Roberts, who had a great 2 games yesterday, looks to add to this 4-game series here in game 3 of 4. So Leary gets ready for his first pitch. Here it comes. Roberts, that one go in for a strike. So starts 0-1. Roberts will let that one go right through. And Leary gets ready and set. Pitch to Roberts. He's going to swing this one. This one's going to left field. This one back to the wall. It's not going to be caught. So Roberts rounding first. And a leadoff hit. And that's going to be a leadoff double for Aiden Roberts, as he continues to stay hot with that bat.
Number 19, Lars Keeper.
So the center fielder, Lars Kiefer, no outs, with Roberts hitting that leadoff double. So both teams have led off this game with doubles. And Kiefer, his final swings, 2 pitches in. Roberts struck on gold. First one to Kiefer. This one's going to be swung. This one's going to get all the way to center field, back towards the wall. It's going to be dropped. So Kiefer's going to get a base hit. Roberts is going to round third. Roberts in. He's going to score. The throw to home is safe. And Roberts, that's going to be an RBI double for Lars Kiefer. And now the Hardhats still trail by 3, but it's 4-1. So both teams led off with a double and then follow with an RBI base hit. So now Wyatt Reeder, the second baseman, comes in with Kiefer, who extends off second base. And here comes the first one. That's going to get behind Tennis. So now Kiefer is going to get advanced on the wild pitch to third. And that was in for ball. So Reeder will start with a 1-0 count. And Kiefer to third base. So the pitch coming from Reeder, he just foul tips that one. So the 1-1 count. Reeder, again, everyone had big games yesterday. in the 2 games they played to remain undefeated on the season. So 1-1 count, and this one's going to go drop. That's going to go for ball 2. So Reeder goes ahead 2 balls to 1 strike in the count with no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes the pitch. This one is going to go outside for ball 3. Reeder didn't chance anything on that one. Leary on the mound did not play in any of the games yesterday for the Mavericks. So with the 3-1 count with a runner on third for the Hardhats, here's the pitch. Reeder got a piece of it, fouls it off. So we go to full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reeder steps right back to the box. Kiefer with no outs still in the bottom of the first. Kiefer who leads off of third. Here comes the pitch. Reeder got a chance on it, but he's going to foul that one towards the first baseline. That one's going to roll towards the Mavericks dugout. So Reeder stays on the 3-2 count. In a 4-1 game, Hardhats from the RBI double from Kiefer, which brought Roberts in off second base. The hit, this one, Reeder is going to hit this one into right center. Right fielder is trying to get under it. That's going to drop, so that's going to be a base hit. Kiefer will run in to score, and that's going to be an RBI double for Reeder.
Next up, number 27.
Swing King strikes. So Kiefer comes in to score back-to-back RBI doubles for the Hardhats, and now K. McLeod playing left field. He'll come in. Reeder still on second with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Now a 4-2 game. Hardhats still trailing by 2. Leary takes a look back at Reeder. And second base. Here comes the pitch. That one will go in for strike. So McLeod will start to an 0-1. Leary gets set. He gets the pitch call from Tennis behind the plate. Here comes the second. That one's going to drop for ball. So only 12 pitches in. And we have 2 RBI doubles for the Hardhats and then a leadoff double. So 3 doubles in a row. And now this one's going to chop to McLeod. The catcher, Tennis, gets to it. The throw is not going to be in time. And Reeder's going to come in to score. So that's going to be a double for K. McLeod. So now 4-3. Make it 4 doubles in a row. So now 4-3 Reeder who will score. And now Jace Morgan, first baseman, he'll come in to hit. Still no outs here. So now both teams having 3 hits. And the Mavericks got an error on that one. So Morgan steps back at the box now with McLeod, who's off second. And Leary on the mound takes a look back. Here comes the pitch. Morgan gets a piece of it. This one's going to drop it to left field. So that's going to be a single, which moves McLeod to third. So still no outs and runners on the corners. Hardhats have had 4 doubles in a row, and then following Morgan's single, 5 base hits in a row. And then now right fielder Carter Johnson hit a 3-run home run to finish out that first game yesterday.
Carter Johnson.
So Tennis will give the call here to his infielders. 14 pitches in, and the Hardhats, who were down 4-0 in the top of the first inning, they have come back, and they only trail by 1 now. It's 4-3. So with Carter Johnson, Leary takes a look back at first where Morgan is with McLeod on third, and then throw to first. McLeod slides in time, stays safe. On the pickoff attempt, that's the first one here for the Mavericks that they have tried. So no pitch here still for Johnson's at bat. Here comes the pitch. Johnson's going to swing this one to short. There's one to second. A throw to first is there, but they're going to bring in a score. So a sac hit from Johnson will tie this game up 4-4. So McLeod, who came in with that run.
Number 21, Josh Elder.
And now Elder, he will come in as he is designated hitter. So now no runners on the base for the Hardhats, as that was their 4th hit of the game. Following that sac hit, now Elder up to bat, played catcher yesterday, and now he's going to take that one for ball. That one was up high. So the 1-0 count with 2 outs following that double play. Here comes the next one. McLeod thought about it, but he'll let that one drop for ball 2. So 2-0 count for Elder. 17 pitches for Leary in this first inning. Here comes the pitch, and it swings and misses from Elder. So 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch, swings and misses, strike 2 from Elder. So 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That one goes outside. So that'll be for ball 3. We have a count problem. So 3 balls, 2 strikes for Elder with 2 outs here in the bottom of this first inning. 2 outs. Leary. Here comes the pitch to Elder, swings and misses, so he'll strike that out. That'll do it for the first inning. Mavericks were up to a early 4-0 lead in the Hardhats as they've come back to make it 4-4 with a leadoff double from Roberts and then Kiefer with the RBI double, with the back-to-back RBI doubles from Kiefer and Reeder, and then it was a double mania followed by Morgan's single and then a sac hit from Johnson that played into the double play, and then Elder who strikes out. So we'll take another quick break and we'll be back to start this second inning. All right, we're back here to start this second inning in a 4-4 game. Broden Sales, who threw 36 pitches in that first inning. And now back to the top of the order, Carter Taylor. As he comes up to bat, he led off with a double and also was brought in on a run following who's on deck, Rylan Davis, who got the RBI single. So, and now Sales, who gets ready to go. First here of the second inning. First pitch comes, swings and misses. Got a piece of the foul tip. So 0-1 count. So 0-1 to start off this one for Taylor. Here comes the next pitch. This one down low, swings and misses for strike 2. Now to the 0-2 count for Sales to Taylor, second baseman leading off for the Mavericks. Sales, here comes the pitch. That one goes for ball 1. So that'll be for the first of the inning, the first of the count from Sales. So 1-2, 40 pitches already thrown for Broden Sales. First at batter of the second inning. Here comes the next one. That one's going to go outside for ball 2. So 2-2 now is the count. Sales gets ready here to Taylor. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to foul off to the right. So stays alive on the 2-2 count. The leadoff hitter for Taylor. Sales gets ready for a new ball. Still no outs here on the top of the second inning. Sales comes with the pitch. This one gets away from Brager, so that's going to go for ball 3. So full count we go. With Taylor in the box. Sales, who has walked 3 batters in that first inning, So 3-2 count. Sales the pitch to Taylor. It comes, swings. This one's going to go high into center field. Kiefer calls for it. Back to the wall. Kiefer can't make the catch. So Taylor rounds first. He's going to round second. He's going to go over for third base. As this one's going to be caught and this one's going to be held in. So a triple for Carter Taylor to start this second inning.
And now brings up number 7, Rylan Davis.
So Davis with an RBI single, his first at bat. With a runner at third now, following that triple to Taylor. Now it went into right center, back towards the wall, and it dropped. So the first pitch of this at bat, here it comes, swings and misses. Got a piece of it, but that'll go for a strike anyway. So 0-1 to start for Davis. So the 0-1, 5 pitches away from 50 is Sales. Here comes the next one. That one goes up high. Brager was there, so that will go 1-1 in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Davis, the left fielder. Here comes the pitch from Sales. That one is going to go outside. Ball 2. So 2-1 here, and it's still at the top of the second. 4-4 the score. With a runner on third for the Mavericks. Following the leadoff triple to Taylor, also led off with a double. Here comes the next one. This one down in the dirt. Brager was back there. That one didn't get through him. So now 3 balls, 1 strike comes the count. So Sales gets ready for the 49th pitch that he will about to be thrown. Here it comes. This one down in the dirt. So he will walk the batter. This one gets away from Brager. But not chancing it is Taylor.
Next up, number 10, Coulter Nickel Larson.
So the runners first and third. Coulter Nico Larson, the shortstop, had a single last time up. No outs. So Brager gives a sign. Morgan will go on first with Inhofer off of third base. So Davis will get his extend. He'll extend off first base. Sales takes that one look off. And here comes the 50th pitch for Sales. This one straight down the middle for a strike. So starts it at 0-1. With Owen Felton, the third baseman, on deck. So the 0-1 count. Sales, he's ready. Looks back at first where Morgan is. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to get hit. Reeder's there, the second baseman. The throw to second, that's going to be 1. The throw to first is not in time, but they're going to bring in a runner. So that's going to be an RBI single. So that, they got 1 out. The throw from Reeder, the second. And they couldn't get the throw in time to first as Nico Larson, who beat it out. So with 1 down and a 5-4 game now in favor of the Mavericks, this brings Owen Felton, the third baseman, who popped to second base his last time up. And now Sales throws to first. This one, a lob throw. Morgan was there. So no pitches here for this at-bat still for Felton. 4th in the batting order. 3 hitters have already gone here for the Mavericks. Sales with the pitch. This one goes up high. Brager was there. So that one goes in for ball 1 to start off. So 1-0 count. Still the runner at first from Nico Larson, who got his first hit of the day. So Felton, third baseman, back in the box. Sales the throw again. Morgan, as he goes in safe on the pickoff attempt. Still with the 1-0 count with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Both teams having 4 hits. 1 error to the Mavericks. 0 for the Hardhats. Sales again throwing to first. And in safe goes Nico Larson. So back-to-back pickoff attempts. Nico Larson stays safe on both of them. Still a 1-0 count. Felton steps right back in. He looks over at first. Here comes the pitch from Sales. This one's going to be popped into right field. Johnson's under it, back to the wall, and that's caught. So that's going to be fly to right. So that puts 2 away. And now we'll bring Reimers up.
Easton Reimers.
Reimers, who hit a single and was also brought in for a run. So Nico Larson still on first base following his RBI single. With 2 outs following that fly out to right field, Carter Johnson, who made the catch. And now Sales. First pitch of this at bat. That one goes inside of Reimers, who shimmied out of the way. So 1-0 count. Start off for Reimers, who was the starting pitcher in Game 2 of the doubleheader last night. Sales again takes a look over at Morgan at first base. The right hand up. Here comes the pitch. Swings and misses for strike 1. So 1-1 with 2 outs. Still on the top of the second inning. High scoring first inning for both of these teams. Both got 4 on the board. Sales throws to first. Did he get him? And he got him on the pickoff. He faked him out. It looked like he was going to throw the pitch to home and then had him running. So that will be 3 outs. 5-4 after the second inning in favor of the Mavericks from the RBI single from Colter Nico Larson, which brought in the run from Carter Taylor. So leading off for the Hardhats will be the catcher, Carter Brager. We'll take a quick second. We'll be right back.
How's it going today?
Tired. How about you?
Not too shabby.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Help yourself, please.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day as
Thank
well.
you so much.
We're back here to kick off the bottom of the second inning. So 5-4 lead for the Mavericks. This will bring Carter Brager up to the plate. Behind home plate is where he's playing today. First one from Leary. This one's going to be hit. This one's going to get 5 from third. So that's going to be a base hit. A single for Carter Brager. Takes the first pitch of the at-bat. And now third baseman Dawson Inhofer, who will come in.
Next up, number 12, Dawson Inhofer.
So 22 pitches thrown here from Devin Leary, and a throw to first on the pickoff attempt. Brager sliding in safe. So Inhofer still looking for his first pitch of the at-bat. Leary looks again over the shoulder at first base, where Brager sits, and now the pitch comes in for a strike. So the first one will go for 0-1 for Inhofer, hitting bottom of the batting order at number 9. So on deck will be Aiden Roberts. To the 0-1 count, Leary gives the pitch here. This one's going to go down low. That's for ball 1. So the 1 ball, 1 strike with a runner on first for the Hardhats. Bottom of the second inning. Leary. Here comes the pitch to Inhofer. Got a piece of it. Foul tips it. So that's going to go 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still with no outs. Gets the thumbs up for Leary. And he's in a staring match at first base where Brager is. Here comes the pitch, this one up high for ball 2, and Holford didn't take it. Looking over at third base for manager Calvin Torvey, who gives him the sign. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for Dawson Inhofer. Here comes the pitch, swung. This one's going to go over the head. That's going to be another base hit. So Brager, who's going to hold on 2. So a single for Inhofer with runners on first and second. And now Aiden Roberts up to the plate, who had a leadoff double and also was driven in for a run.
Next up, number 10, Aiden Roberts.
Roberts hit 2 home runs, an inside the park home run, and one that went over the left field wall. In yesterday's 2 games, here comes the first pitch. That one's going to go in for strike. So starts to the 0-1 count for Roberts. Playing shortstop. Usually, yesterday he played both games at third base. Hofer plays today. Here comes this one. This one is just going to go foul. So it goes to 0-2. Very close to being a fair ball. So Roberts comes back. He picks up the bat to the 0-2 count. So with Brager at second, Inhofer at first, following with both of those guys tallying singles. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit by Roberts over the head of second base. That's going to be in for another base hit. Rounding second comes Inhofer. Brager rounding third. He's going to run into score. So an RBI single for Aiden Roberts, and now we're tied 5-5. So that brings Brager in a run.
Next up, number 19, Lars Kiefer.
And Kiefer, and that first inning when Roberts was on second base, Kiefer hit an RBI double, and then that's what started the 4 doubles in a row. So Caden Tennis, the catcher for the Mavericks, he'll give a sign here to his team to give him a call of what he wants. Still no outs here in the bottom of the second with runners on the corners. Leary in a 5-5 game now. Here comes the first pitch. That one in for strike. The Hardhats, they trailed 4-0 after that first inning. They got 4 right back in the bottom of the first, and then Mavericks strike 1 at the top of the second, and now right there, Brager got in for the run following the RBI single from Roberts. So the 0-1 count. Leary the pitch. Roberts going to take off. Kiefer's going to pop this one up. Third baseman is under it. That's Owen Felton, makes the catch to throw to first. Roberts is in there. So Kiefer pops the third. And now Wyatt Reeder also hit an RBI double, which he was also scored in for a run. So still with runners on first and third. Now with 1 out here on the bottom of the second. Reeder proved why he's the swing king on his last at-bat. So with Leary on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Reeder swings. This one's going to foul off. So he starts his count at a 0-1.
Now at the plate, number 18, Wyatt Reeder.
Still with Inhofer at third and Roberts at first base. And the throw to first, Roberts sliding in time. He's going to stay in safe off the pickoff attempt. And then back in the top of the second inning, Sales, which finished out that second inning, got a pickoff attempt, and it was successful. So here comes a pitch to Reeder, and Roberts will take off. So Roberts will get a stolen base. So now it puts runners at second and third for the Hardhats. Still with Reeder in at bat to the 1-1 count. Here comes a pitch, and that one was up high, ball 2. Reeder steps right back in. Reeder entering this series, he was leading the team in batting average, and this one's going to be hit to shortstop. This one's going to be thrown to first, so that's a sac hit. And now the Hardhats, they've taken their first lead of the game. It's 6-5. So, Roberts, who is at third, after stealing second base, so this will bring Kane McLeod up, the left fielder. Also, and they had that 4 doubles in a row, and he was the last one to do so. And he was also driven in for a run. So he starts the count to 1-0. The left fielder for McLeod. Here comes the pitch. That one down on the dirt as Tennis out right in front of him. Roberts still off of the base, and he returns home. So 2-0 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, and a 6-5 lead now for the Hardhats. First lead they have here all day, and McLeod, did he go? And no. So ball 3. No strikes, 2 outs. And the 40th pitch coming here from Leary for the Mavericks. And this one is going to be in for strike. So the first of the count for McLeod of the 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. Roberts still off of third base. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to walk McLeod. So McLeod will go to first, and now Jace Morgan, first baseman's brought up to the plate. Hit a single his first at-bat. So with 2 runners out, and with 2 runners on first and third, Leary will take a close look at first base, where he just walked McLeod, and now here comes the swing and a miss from Morgan. So now going for strike 1. So 0-1 count. Morgan re-enters in the box. Still 2 outs. Bottom of the second is shaking the head. Leary doesn't want that one. Takes a look back over at first base. Here comes a pitch, and that one McLeod will take off. So McLeod will get a stolen base. So evens the count to 1-1 for Morgan, and we'll have a mound visit here for the Mavericks. So with McLeod on second base, as he just stole that, and then on third for the Hardhats as they will talk. So Morgan still at bat, Johnson on deck, even though with 2 outs. So Leary, 43 pitches in this game. So they will have another visit. Long talk, Morgan. So they'll talk. So Leary, who will still stay on the mound for the Missoula Mavericks. So Morgan will re-enter on the 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Roberts, who's on third, McLeod at second. Waiting for the pitch. Third of the at-bat here for Morgan. Here it comes, and Morgan's going to swing on it, and that one right to first. Reimers bobbles it, and the throw to first isn't in time, and he gets him. So the ground to first from Morgan. We'll put it away here for the second inning, and a 6-5 lead for the Hardhats. Roberts, who had an RBI single, and then getting on base, starting it off was Brager, was also driven in for a run. Inhofer got a single, also driven in for a run, and then the sac hit from Wyatt Reeder. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Broden Sales still remains on the mound for the Hardhats. All right, so leading off for the Mavericks will be number 13, their first baseman, Easton Reimers. So Broden Sales, 55 pitches in through 2 innings. So Brager will come back to home plate. So Reimers will still have the at-bat, as they had Felton, it was Nico Larson, with a successful pickoff to finish out that second inning. So this one down in the dirt. So Sales, the first pitch, that one down for ball one. So 1-0 count. It's partly cloudy here, no sun. It was really sunny yesterday. It was hot, so a little bit of the cooler air could help for the Hardhats today. Here comes the pitch from Sales. That one's in for strike one. So now to a ball and a strike. Reimers, first baseman, he got a single his last time up. Here comes the pitch off the helmet of Brager. So foul tips it. So now to the 1-2 count. So Brager's all right after taking that one off the noggin. Reimers who got a piece of it. So to the 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here. And the leadoff hitter here in this third inning. And now Sales is ready. Here comes the pitch. This one swings. Reimers, this one is going to be hit into left center. That one's going to drop. Kiefer gets to the. That's going to be back. So 2 singles on the day for Reimers. So now they'll pull up Remington Howard, who was walked his first at-bat. So with Reimers, who hit a single, that one into left center. And now Sales with the runner off first. Here comes the pitch. That one in for strike one. First pitch of the at-bat. Always nice to start off in the strike column. Oh, 0-1, still no outs. 6-5 lead for the Hardhats. Sales in the second one. This one up high. Brager popped up quick to make this one now 1-1 count. Sales, the lefty, the left throwing pitcher, started this game. Still in here now, 62 pitches here following this next one. Here it comes, this one down in the dirt. Brager is up, this one's gonna pop up, so Reimers didn't have a chance to take off for second. So 2-1 for the count. So Reimer's still on first. He gets that lead off of base as Morgan, who's ready in position, as they had a successful pickoff, like we mentioned earlier, on Nico Larson. A hit this one right to Reeder, the second baseman, off his glove. The lob to second. Did he get it in time? And he did. So that's going to be 1 out. But a base hit for Howard. And now Caden Tennis, the catcher, who was also previously walked his first at-bat. He steps in the box, so it was Howard, Tennis, and Richardson, all 3 of those batters, as Richardson, who is on deck right now, were all walked 3 times in a row. Here comes the first one, then up high. Brager, the throw to first. Morgan just got under that one. That one didn't go right behind him, so to the 1-0 count. Morgan, who dove, trying to get under that one. Roll a little bit behind him. So for Tennis, the catcher, up at bat now with Howard off of first. With 1 out, throw to first. Morgan in safe. Sales with that tricky look like he was going to pitch and the throw to first, which got Reimer or Nico Larson to finish out the top of the second inning. So Sales takes a look back at first. Here comes the pitch. That one up high. Brager controls it. So 2-0 count we go with Caden Tennis in at bat. Still top of the third inning. And now here comes the pitch from Sales. That one down in the dirt. Ball 3. So to the 3-0 count. No strikes on the board. Sales takes a second. He's back up on the bump. And he gives the nod to Brager. He likes the call that he was given. Here comes the pitch. That one in for strike 1. So Sales gets his first strike of the at-bat on Caden Tennis, the catcher. So 3-1 with 1 out. Runner on first for the Mavericks. Richardson on deck. Here comes this one down one, so he will walk. So that's back-to-back walks for Tennis. And now the DH, Andrew Richardson, who was the starting pitcher in that first game of the doubleheader yesterday. So Brager will have a talk here with Sales real quick. So Brager, 68 pitches thrown so far for Broden Sales, the lefty, with runners on first and second, following the walk from Tennis and then the single from Reimers, or excuse me, Howard hit the single. So with only one out, Morgan backs off at first. That one up high, right in front of Richardson. So that for ball one starts the count to 1-0. So Morgan, who is right behind first base, and maybe trying to fly on that base, try to get that pickoff attempt. 1-0. Sales looks take the look back at second. They back off. Here comes the pitch. Brager. This one pops right out in front of him. And does another great job of keep that one in front. No runners advancing on wild pitches. So Richardson, 2 balls, no strikes on this count. $70 already in for Sales. I believe the most he's thrown in a game is 74. Here comes the pitch. That one outside, ball 3. So 3-0 is the count with only 1 out. Runners on first and second for the Mavericks with Richardson, the DH in. This one's going to be aimed for strike 1. So Sales, who started at a 3-0 count, throws in the first strike. Puts the strikes hat in the ring. Still with 1 down. Bottom of the 3rd inning, we still are. Sales with the pitch. This one will walk Richardson. So that will put the bases loaded. And Brager, they all will meet up. So Coach Kelvin Torvey will go to the mound. As they're looking around here, looking to see who will come in for pitching. So umpire talking, and we're going to have a new pitcher. It'll be number 14, Colton Morling. So Sale comes out, pitched 73 pitches. So now that will lead Colton Morling pitching here for the first time in this 4-game series. Morling, who has pitched 3.1 innings, 6 strikeouts, and he's walked 3 batters. So he'll get in his warm-up pitches.
Now pitching for the Hardhats is Colton Morley.
So up next for the Mavericks, after Richardson, it is the center fielder Bryce Ostrom. Last time he was up, he flew out to left field. So with bases loaded and with only 1 out here in the Hardhats, trying to get away here. And they have the lead for the first time in this game. It's 6-5. They're looking to get rid of this top of the 3rd inning to go in the bottom and hit again. So Morlang getting his final few throws. Seven hits for the Hardhats today, with 5 for the Mavericks, with only 1 error being for Missoula. We've seen a lot of RBI singles and a lot of RBI doubles from both teams, and both leadoff hitters, Roberts and Taylor, both hit doubles, and they both got on base following at their second at bat. So Morlang with the final pitch, and we're ready to go. That'll bring Bryce Ostrom hitting 9th in the order, up at bat with bases loaded, with Richardson at first base, Tennis at 3rd or 2nd, and with Howard at 3rd. Still with only 1 out, so Morlang.
Next up, number 4, Bryce Ostrom.
as they'll get ready. So manager Kelvin Torvey come off the field. Morlang starts on the bump. So his first pitch will be here with bases loaded with Ostrom. And he will get the call here from Carter Breaker behind the plate with the nod on the head. They'll look back to first base with Morgan, who was in front of the base runner. Here comes the first for Morlang. This one's going to get hit, fouls towards the 22 dugout, and it just drops right on in. Dexter Steen to retrieve the ball in the dugout for the Hardhats. So to the 0-1 count starts for Ostrom following that first pitch from Colton Morlang. Comes in a relief for Broden Sales, who pitched 73 pitches. So Morlang on the 0-1 count. Here it comes. That one goes outside, ball one. The breeze picking up a little bit too. I'm sure the players like that. So 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, top of the 3rd inning. Morlang gets the call. Here comes the pitch. This one goes outside. Brager for ball 2. Ostrom swung on that first pitch, and it fouled off. Has not swung at the last 2, as they're both outside or down below the box. So Morlang nods the head. Here comes the pitch. It comes down low, and that'll be for ball 3. So 3-1 with 1 out, bases loaded. Ostrom playing center field for the Mavs. The Mavs dugout encouraging Bryce Ostrom. So Morlang nods the head no. He doesn't want that pitch that Brager offered. And the second one is a good go. So to the 3-1 count, Morlang, the pitch coming. That one in for strike 2. So 3-2 full count. Following that strike with no swing from Bryce Ostrom. Bases are loaded with here top of the 3rd. Another nod of the head from Morlang. Likes the call. He will give this pitch off. Here it comes. Swings. Fouls off is Ostrom. Still stays alive on the 3-2 count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. We've only seen 1 strikeout today, as that was Josh Elder back for the Hardhats playing DH today, but none so far for the Mavericks. So 3-2 count. Morlang, here comes the pitch. Swings. This one's going to get hit. That one's going to sneak on through. So an RBI single will keep the bases loaded, but we are back tied at 6-6 here in the 3rd inning.
And next up, number 2, Carter Taylor.
So now this will bring Carter Taylor, second baseman, back up. He hit a double to lead it off, and then he led off in the 2nd inning, which hit a triple and was driven in for 2 runs as well today. All of those at bats. So with only 1 out, bases remain loaded. Here comes the pitch from Morlang. That one in for a strike. First one of the at-bat. Starts 0-1. 7 pitches in for Morlang. Ostrom with that RBI single, which brought in Howard. Takes a look back at second. Morlang, the pitch comes, swings, fouls off as Taylor. So the count will go 0-2. So Taylor re-enters in the box. Morlang with the 0-2 count. Bases loaded. In a 6-6 game now. Morlang is ready. Looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. This one swings. This one goes right through short. So that's going to be another RBI single. This one to the outfield. McLeod the throw in. So the Mavericks retake the lead 7-6 following that RBI single from Carter Taylor. So now Rylan Davis, left fielder, walked his last at-bat. So with runners on all bases, still with 1 out remaining, or 1 out here in the top of this 3rd inning. 2 runs scored here for the Mavericks. Here comes the first one. That one in for a strike from Morlane. That's number 10 for him today. So the 0-1 count. Davis, left fielder, in the box, ready for a swinging. Morgan again back in front of the first base runner. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off was Davis, so to the 0-2 count.
Riley Davis is up to the plate.
So 0-2 with 1 out. Bases remain loaded. And Brager will give the call here to Morlang. Morlang waiting for which one he wants, and he gives the nod. So the 0-2 count to Davis, the outfielder. Here it comes. That one down low for ball 1. So 1-2 count, which started at 0-2 count. So the first ball, the at-bat for Davis. Davis, his first at-bat, hit an RBI single, which that started in 2 batters in. They already had 1 run scored. So 1-2, Morling, here comes the pitch. And did he get him? And he got him. So he'll strike out Davis. So Morling gets one there. And now this will bring up Colter Nico Larson, the shortstop, hitting 2 singles today. His last at-bat, he drove in a run. So he had an RBI single his last at-bat with 2 outs following the strikeout. This one, first of the pitch of the at-bat, that will go outside for ball 1. So 1-0, Colton Morling, his first strikeout of the series, game 3 of 4 against the Missoula Mavericks. Here comes the next one, that one in for strike. So 1 strike, 1 ball, 2 outs. Still runners at 1, 2, and 3 for the Mavericks. Now Morgan, who was in front of the first base runner, now he's behind. So 1-1 count here. This one comes in for strike. Another good curve. So 2 strikes now with 1 ball. The count with 2 outs here at the top of the 3rd inning. 7-6 lead for the Mavericks. Morling gives the nod to Brager. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be popped up. This one's going to go foul. So stays on the 1-2 count for Nico Larson. He was picked off as well from Roden Sales at first base. So the 1-2 count, 2 outs, Morling. Here comes the pitch. Swing's got a piece of Brager's helmet again. So he again stays alive on the 1-2 count. Morling will get a new ball from the home plate umpire. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And now Morling, he's ready. He delivers the pitch. Here comes Sween's foul tip. So 1-2 still. 3 foul tips in a row. So which keeps it to the 1-2 count. So the runners on all bases for the Mavericks with 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. 7-6 Mavs lead. Here comes the pitch from Morlang. Swings. This one's going to go left center field. Keeper is under it. This one back to the wall. And that one, so they're bringing 1 run scored. And that's 2, rounding 3rd. And that's going to be a 3 RBI triple for Colter Nico Larson. And they add it, so now it is 10-6.
Nice hit. Brings up number 9, Owen Felton.
So Owen Felton, the third baseman, 0 for 2 today, popped to second base his first at-bat and flew out to right field his last. So with now they had bases loaded, now only a runner at third. Orling with the pitch, this one comes, swings, this one's going to go to Reeder at second base, makes the catch, the throw to first is in time, and he gets him. So the ground to Reeder. So after the top of the third inning, a 10-6 lead for the Mavericks following that big 3 RBI triple for Ryland Davis. So we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break and we'll get ready for the bottom of the third inning. We're back here to start this bottom of the third inning. Leading off for the Hardhats will be number 23, Carter Johnson. Right fielder hit a sacrifice hit his last time up. So still on the mound is Leary for the Mavericks.
Carter Johnson.
He's got 44 pitches through 2 innings. As we mentioned, his last at-bat hit that 3-run home run to finish the first game of yesterday's doubleheader. Kick off the bottom of the third and a 10-6 lead for the Mavericks. First pitch, the curve, that will go for ball. So 1-0 to start off. Leary, he winds and deals here to Johnson. This one's going to go in for strike. So to a 1-1 count. Starting off, 7 hits for the Hardhats. And here comes the next one. This one will stay in play. Johnson running. Can he beat it out? And so that's going to be out. So the ground to third from Johnson. This brings the designated hitter, Josh Elder, up to the plate. Struck out his first at-bat. Elder played catcher in one game yesterday, and then Brody Thompson, who had the second game catching, and Brager gets the first game catching today. Here comes the first one. That one's going to go in for a strike. Bottom of the third inning. Brager on deck. 1 out. So Leary. Here comes the pitch, and this one down in the dirt. That's going to bobble up. So it goes to the 1-1 count. Ball and a strike. Leary will give the nod. 50th pitch for him. This one's hit. That one's going to get through. So Elder, it's going to get a base hit. And he gets a single. So with a runner on first following the base hit from Josh Elder, this will pull Carter Brager to the plate. Brager hit a single, was also driven in for a run. So 50 pitches in for Leary. And a 10-6 lead for the Mavericks. And he's going to look over at first where Elder is parked. Here comes the first one. That one down low, ball 1. Brager's done a great job today behind home plate, making balls, making sure that they're in front of him. Not a lot go behind him And the throw to first, Elder slides into first. He's safe from that pickoff attempt. So 1-0 count, another one, Elder in safe, back-to-back times. So Breaker now facing the 1-0 count. Here comes the hit from Breaker, and that's going to be popped, and that's going to be 1-2. Did he get him in a double play? So that puts it for the top of the third inning. Still 10-6, so we'll take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, at the bottom of the third, the Hardhats had one hit. No runs, no errors, no one left on base.
All right, we're back here to kick off the fourth inning as Morlang still remains on the mound for the Hardhats, and now leading off for the Missoula Mavericks will be number 13, first baseman Easton Reimers, who has hit 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. So getting in for his final few pitches. Rager comes out from the dugout. He was the last hitter for the Hardhats.
First up for the Mavericks, number 13, Easton Reimers.
So Morlang, he came in the middle of that inning, and he pitched 22. So they're ready to go here to get this fourth inning rolling. 9 hits for the Mavericks, 8 for the Hardhats, and a 10-6 lead for Missoula. So, ready to go here for fourth inning. Morlang waiting for the okay. So he gets the thumbs up. Morlang's ready to go. Reimers leading off here in this fourth inning. Here comes the first pitch. Swings and misses. Starts it off on a swing and a miss strike. And the throw, Morlang couldn't grip onto it. No runners on base. So Morlang returns back to the mound. Gives the nod to Breaker behind the home plate. Here comes the pitch from Morlang. This one down in the dirt, goes behind Breaker. So puts the count to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, starting to pick up. Morlang nods off that pitch call. So he'll give this one. Here it comes. That one's going to be in for strike 2. So 1-2 count for Reimers. So 1-2, no outs for the leadoff hitter for Reimers, the first baseman. So Morlang winds up. Here comes the pitch, and it got a clip of him. He turned away, got him on his back. So a hit by pitch. So Reimers will walk to first. And now this will bring Remington Howard, the right fielder. Walked his first at-bat, and then a single his second previous at-bat. So with Reimers, who was hit by pitch, he's on first base. And now Morlang gets the call from Breaker behind the plate. Here comes the first at-bat. That one's in for strike 1. So both of the at-bats started on a 0-1 count. Morling. Reimer's on first. Morgan ready to go with try to get that pickoff attempt. Here comes the pitch. This one swings at right to Inhofer at third. There's one, but it gets right by Wyatt Reeder at second base. So an error there. That'll be a single for Howard. So that puts runners first and third for them. And now Caden Tennis, who's been walked both of his at-bats. He is driven up to the home plate. So following that play that went towards third base, able for the throw to second where Reeder was green. So first of this at-bat swings and misses. Tennis, and Howard will take off from first to second. He's going to move on the wild pitch. So now runners at second and third with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Still 10-6 in favor of the Mavericks. So 0-1 to start for Tennis, the catcher. Morling again gives the nod no. He likes this call that Brager gave. Looks back at second where Howard just advanced the wild pitch. This one swung. This one goes foul. So it's the 0-2 count we go for Tennis. In at the box. So a time called here from home plate umpire as they're looking for someone to go shut the gate back in that right field. Seamers put here in second. So just shutting it real quick, and then we'll resume back to action. Runners second and third still for the Mavericks with no outs, top of the fourth inning. Tennis on the 0-2 count. So gets a thumbs up there from the home plate umpire. Morling ready to go here for this pitch. On the 0-2 count, Morling, here comes the pitch. This one's swung. This one's going to pop up. Reeder under it. Kiefer, the center fielder, also that's going to drop right between the three of them. So that's going to bring a run score. The throw to third, and Hofer can't get to it. So that's going to be an RBI double for Caden Tennis. And that's going to bring in Easton Reimers. So Brager, they'll have a quick talk. So with Howard off at third base and then following that RBI double from Caden Tennis. So 11-6 is the score now for the Mavericks here in the top of the fourth inning. So they all are ready to go. Brager returns back to home plate. .31 pitches thrown here for Morling. And now the DH, Andrew Richardson, has been walked twice. And now for his third at-bat. So Morling gets ready here for the first of the at-bat. Here it comes, this one down low for ball one. So 1-0 count. .33 pitches in for Morling to the 1-0. Here it comes, this one up high for ball two. That release point just got away from Morling, goes up higher. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, top of the fourth inning, 11-6. For the Mavericks, they have now double digits on the board for hits with 10. So runners on second and third. Morling, the pitch comes, that one, and for ball three. 3 balls, no strikes. Morling ready to go here. Brager gives him the call. Still looking for the first out of this inning. Morling, the pitch comes, that goes outside. So 3 walks for Richardson. And now Bryce Ostrom, as he will come up, he had a RBI
Bryce Ostrom.
triple. So he's up, bases loaded again. And 11-6 Mavs lead. Morling, so he gets the call. Looks over, here comes the pitch. This one will go outside, gets away from Brager, and Howard will come in to score. So 12-6 now, and that pitch was a ball. So Howard would advance off that wild pitch in. Now 12-6, a 6-run deficit for the Hardhats. Morling waits the call from Brager behind the plate. He gets it. Here comes the pitch. This one in the zone for strike 1. So starts off 1-1 with Ostrom for the AB. Runners second and third. Tennis off of third. And Richardson on second. Here comes the pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 2. Ostrom. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still no outs here in the top of this 4th inning. Morling waits the call. Umpire gives the count to Morling. Delivers the pitch. This one goes for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still no outs. 1 error now for each team. With 10 hits for the Mavericks, 8 for the Hardhats. Here comes the pitch. This one fouled off. That one into the Mavs dugout. So still fighting on a 2-2 count. Wind starting to pick up again and again. So to a 2-2 count. Morling ready here on Bryce Ostrom. Here comes the pitch. This one in, got him. So a strikeout to Bryce Ostrom. That'll be the second for Colton Morling. And now Carter Taylor, so he has hit a double, triple, and an RBI single. 1 run away from cycle. So Morling with the nod. 1 out for the first here in the top of this 4th inning. Here comes the pitch from Morling. This one's going to be swung, fouls off, hits the fence. So back to the top of the order for the Mavs. Taylor, second baseman. So gets the thumbs up to Morling on the mound. 0-1 count. That one did he check? So 1-1. So 1-1 as the second base ump gives the confirmation call. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for Taylor, second baseman. Here comes, swings, another foul tip. This one back off the fence again. So 1-2 is the count. With still runners on second and third for Missoula. Umpire gives Morling the count again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind really picking up there. Here comes from Morling. That one goes outside. Ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-2, Morling here with the pitch. It comes, this one swings and misses. And he will strike Taylor out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Morling. His second of the inning.
Now up, number 7.
His third of the game. And now Ryland Davis hit a 3 RBI triple his last time up. As he was also struck out. So that was the first for Colton Morling. So 2 outs now. Morling 46 pitches in. Runners on second and third. First one goes. Brager, this one goes behind him, but they are not going to run. So 1-0 count. So Morling will get the ball back again on the 1 ball, no strike, 2 out count. Still 12-6 lead for the Mavericks. 2 runners on bases for them, 1 at second, 1 at third. And Morling looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. This one in a strike zone for strike 1. Puts her to ones. Ball and a strike for Davis. Left fielder. Morling with this pitch. This one goes outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike. And he pats the bat on home plate, ready for the next pitch given here from Morling. 2-1 count, 50 already in for pitches called, and this one's going to be hit. This one will go foul. Morgan was chasing after it on that first base line. So they will wait to get the foul ball recovered here. So the sun now starting to shine a little bit, following the partly cloudy. So to a 2-2 count with 2 outs, with Davis at bat. Morling, the pitch comes, swings and misses. 3 strikeouts for Colton Morling. And that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. A 12-6 lead for the Mavericks. We'll take a short break and we'll be back.
Mavericks in the top of the 4th.
Oh my, that was
1 hit, 2 runs, 1 error, and 2 left on base.
Okay, thank you. Brent, do you have someone run and close that gate again? Thank you.
Up to the Hardhats, number 12, Dawson Inhofer.
All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. 12-6 lead remains for the Mavericks. And leading off hitter for the Plus 22 Hardhats will be Dawson Inhofer, third baseman, as he hit a single his last time up. Hardhats looking to come back from a 6-run deficit, as Leary will stay on the mound. 3 innings in. So Inhofer steps in the box here. I apologize for that wind pickup. It's coming right behind, so they have someone to go close that gate as they did earlier. So first pitch coming here for Inhofer. This one will go in for strike one. So Inhofer starts on the 0-1 count. So 0-1. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the fourth. The next one comes, that one a curve for strike two. So 0-2 for Inhofer. Now Leary delivers this pitch. Inhofer swings on it. This one's going to foul again to the 22 dugout. Ian Roberts on deck. So Inhofer on an 0-2 count, fighting off that foul ball earlier. Swings and misses, third ball drop strike. And the throw to first is there. So Inhofer strikes out. Puts the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. Now Aiden Roberts, an RBI single last time up and also had a stolen base. Roberts he's ready, so one down. The bottom of the fourth, the first one's in, that's going to go for ball one.
Now up, Aiden Roberts.
So starts on the 1-0 count. We're in for start on the 0-1. Leary, the pitch comes, that one down low, that's going to go for ball two. So starts 2 balls ahead of strikes for Aiden Roberts. Playing short today. 2-0 count. Leary, the pitch comes. Roberts going to hit this one into left field. They have a man under it. That's going to be caught. A dive catch. Fly to left. So 2 outs. Kiefer pulled up to the plate.
Brings up 19, Lars Kiefer.
Kiefer, his first at-bat hit the RBI double, which drove in Roberts, who was on base, and then previous at-bat he popped to third. So now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning, first pitch for Kiefer's at-bat, swings and misses for strike one. So 0-1 count, 2 outs. 12-6 lead still remains for Missoula. Leary, this pitch, that one's going to get a piece of Kiefer, and so it hit the umpire. So it's going to go to 1-1 count. And we'll get a quick discussion here between the 2 umpires to see what that call was, just to discuss what happened. So they both made on that first base line. Kiefer looked like he just took that one off the back or off the helmet, but so they're going to count it as a foul ball. So Kiefer, who now goes to a 2-0 count, or excuse me, 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes. Following as they counted that one, last one a foul ball here. This one comes, swings and misses, but a third ball drop. The throw to first, and Kiefer will strike out. Nothing much to talk about there in the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll get ready to go here for the fifth inning. We'll be right back.
Bottom of the fourth, no hits, no runs, no errors.
So still on the mound is Colton Morling, as he gets finishing his final throws. Rager, the throw from home plate to second. So leading off for the Missoula Mavericks will be number 10, Colter Nico Larson.
First up, number 10, Colton Nicolaarson.
So he's ready. Brager returns back to behind home plate. Morlang loosening up on the mound, trying to get that right arm. So we get ready here for the top of this 5th inning. Hardhats still trail by 6, 12-6 lead for the Mavericks. First pitch here for the 5th comes from Morlang. This one in for ball 1. So 1-0 count for Nicolaarson. And now Morlang again gives him the stare. Here comes the next pitch. This one's going to foul off the fence. And a new ball given there for Morlang. So 1 ball, 1 strike for the leadoff hitter here in this 5th inning for the Mavericks. Morlang winds and deals. The pitch comes. That one goes outside for ball 2. So the 2-1 count now comes for Coulter, Nicolaarson, the shortstop for the Missoula Mavericks. Morlang ready to give this pitch. This one comes, swings down the middle, but he swings. This one's going to foul off. Morgan giving chase. And that one just goes into the bullpen out in that right side, right field. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs for the leadoff hitter. So Morland retrieves gets a new ball. And he gives the nod to Brager behind home plate. Morlang, the pitch comes, sits, and swing by Nicolaarson. This one is going to drop right in between center and left. So a single from Nicolaarson. And now Owen Felton.
Next up, number 9, Owen Felton.
Brought up to the plate as he grounded to second, his last at-bat. So the leadoff hitter in the 5th inning will get a leadoff single. Umpire is already good to go. Felton playing at 3rd for the Mavs. No outs, throw to 1st. Morgan was there, made the catch. In safe goes Nicolaarson. Nicolaarson, who was picked off earlier in this game when Broden Sales was on the mound. Still looking for the first pitch of the at-bat here for Felton. Morland gives his pitch. This one goes outside. Brager gets behind it. Ball 1. So to a 1-0 count. Felton takes second. He's back at the box. Morland gets his pitch ready to go. Runner extending off of first. And Nicolaarson. Here comes the pitch. This one's swing. Umpire gets out of the way. Right to Reeder. Potential double play. The throw from second to first is there, and a double play is made. So 1 play results to 2 outs.
And the double play brings up number 13, Easton Reimers.
So brings up first baseman Easton Reimers. He has had 2 singles today, and the last at-bat he was hit by pitch. 2 of those 3 at-bats, so 2 runs for him today. Following that double play, here comes the first one, swings and misses on the strike. So first strike of the count for Reimers. So 0-1. Morlang ready on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Gonna curve that one for ball 1. So 1-1 count with 2 outs. Infielders back towards the grass. And now here comes the pitch from Morlang. That one goes outside. Brager trying to pull that one in the middle for a strike, but 2-1 is the count. To the 2-1 count for Reimers. Morlang with the pitch. This one for ball 3. So to the 3-1 count. Started at 0-1. So Morlang now 62 pitches in since coming in the middle of the 3rd inning. And now Morlang on the 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. This one will go in for strike 2. Reimers thought he was going to get a walk. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs with no runners on the base. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Morlang shook the head on the first one and shakes on the second. That one's and gets him in a strikeout. Caught Reimers watching. That will do it for the top of the 5th inning. We'll take another short break. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th.
In the top of the 5th, the Mavericks had 1 hit, no runs, and no errors. No one left on base.
All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 12-6 lead for the Missoula Mavericks. And still on the mound for the Mavericks will be Leary. Then leading off for the Hardhats will be Wyatt Reeder. Reeder opened this game with an RBI double. Had a sacrifice hit amongst the way. Trying to get this comeback so the Hardhats can keep this undefeated season going. Wyatt Reeder, a.k.a. also known as the Swing King. First pitch on the bunt. This one will drop, and this will go for foul. Again, that wind starting to pick up. I apologize if you get some of that. So Reeder foul, so an 0-1 after that bunt. The baby blue uniforms here for this Sunday, Mother's Day. Here for the doubleheader. So the 0-1 count for Reeder. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be swung. This one high into center field. He's under it, and this is going to be caught for the first out. So K. McLeod, he will come in, hit a double his first at-bat, and then he got walked his last. Also had a stolen base his last at-bat, so it puts one away following the hit from center field from Wyatt Reeder. Leary gets ready. Here comes the pitch to McLeod. That one in for ball 1. Patiently waiting for one down the middle for McLeod. 1-0. Leary, this one swung, got a piece of it, was McLeod. So it goes to a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Leary gets ready. Here comes the pitch. McLeod, that one down the middle, as that one took a drop. So for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Here comes the next pitch. This one goes up high. That'll be for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. No runners on the base with 1 out. And now Leary up at the leg. Here comes the pitch. McLeod hits this one into left. This one's going to be caught. Just a fly to left. So with that puts 2 away. Jace Morgan, first baseman, he comes in. Last time up, he grounded to first base, and he had a single his first at bat. So Morgan gets his final practice swings in. Leary on the mound. This is the 70th pitch he will throw. This one goes outside the box, trying to pull that one in, was tennis. So ball 1 starts off the count. 1-0, 2 outs. Leary, pitch comes. This one also will go down, hit by pitch, so it got a piece of Morgan. So Morgan hit by pitch. He'll go to first base, and now Carter Johnson will come. he will hit. He had a sacrifice hit his first at bat, and then he grounded to third base his last time up.
Next up, number 23, Carter Johnson.
So with Morgan at first base, Leary still on the mound for the Mavericks. Takes a long look at first. Here comes the first one. This one goes outside for ball one on Johnson. So Johnson on the 1-0 count. Morgan trying to get an extra lead off of first base. Here comes the pitch. This one out of the reach, a wild pitch. And Morgan will go from first to second with 2 outs and out to a 2-0 count lead for Johnson. So following the advance on the wild pitch is Morgan. And now he extends off of second. And creeping in there was their second baseman trying to get that one there as Johnson. This one ground to third, throw all the way across to first is there. So 1, 2, 3. That will do it for the 5th inning. Not much to cover there. We'll be right back to start this 6th inning off. Morling here with the first pitch. This one comes, that one's going to go outside, ball one to start this 6th inning out. 65 pitches for Morling. He's ready to the 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch and the curve, and that one got a piece of the elbow off of Howard. So Howard will hit by pitch. So they have a runner on first. And now that will bring Caden Tennis, the catcher, hit an RBI double last at-bat. He's also walked his first at-bat and second.
Number 5, Caden Tennis.
Tennis awaits here for the first pitch from Morling. This one goes. This one's going to get hit into right field. Johnson comes out to get it. That'll be caught. The fly to right from Caden Tennis for the first out here of the 6th inning. And now Andrew Richardson, the DH. He's been walked 3 times for all 3 of his at-bats. Now Moreland takes a look over the shoulder at first base. Here comes the pitch from Moreland. This one, did he go? Yes, swing and a miss. Strike 1 off of Richardson. So no balls, 1 strike with 1 out. Morlang looks over at first. Morgan has that hand up, ready to go. Here comes the pitch for Morlang. This one's going to be swung. This one to Morgan at first. The throw over to second, and Morlang took a spill at first. Did he get it? And they say safe. So Richardson gets in there. Morlang, who slipped to cover at first, because Morgan, who made that play to get to it, throw to second. So that will put only 2 down. But Richardson will come away with the hit. Now Bryce Ostrom
Number 4, Bryce
struck out
Ostrom.
his last at-bat. And again, back at the bottom of the order at number 9, hitting for the Mavericks. So 2 outs with still a runner on first. Now in Richardson, their designated hitter. The first one here goes up high, ball 1. 1-0 count. Morling, the pitch comes. This one gets in for strike 1. So puts it even to 1-1 for the count with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th, Morling takes the peek over at first. Morling with the pitch. This one's going to be swung to third. That's going to go foul. So the 1-2 count with 2 outs. 72 pitches for Colton Morling here in this game today. With 2 outs, 2 strikes, and 1 ball. Runner on first for Missoula. Here comes the pitch. Swings and misses, strikes him out, and that's going to put it away for the top of the 6th inning. Adding another one for him. So that's back-to-back strikeouts for Bryce Ostrom.
In the top of the 6th.
And that's going to be the 5th strikeout for Colton Morling. So Leary still on the mound. We'll let him get warmed up. And due up for the Bulls 22 Hardhats will be Josh Elder, as we'll take a quick second. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here for now the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Elder, the designated hitter for the Hardhats today, is going to lead off. Struck out his first at-bat, hit a single his previous at-bat. Again, that wind picking up. So Larry still on the mound, 74 pitches for him today. He's pitched all game long, started. Here comes the first one, and that one's going to go in for strike 1. Elder will let it go. So an 0-1 count for Elder. We'll start this one off. Here comes the pitch. That one goes outside for ball 1. So 1-1 count here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Leary delivers this pitch. This one goes near the feet of Elder. It's going to pop all the way over here. So now to a 2-1 count. Elder leading off. 8 hits for the Hardhats, looking to add more to that. And now here comes the pitch from Leary. This one goes up high for ball 3. Elder didn't even bother swinging on that one. So 3-1 count. Leary on the mound. Here's the pitch. That one goes for strike 2. Elder thought he was going to get walked. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now here comes the pitch. Elder swings. This one fouls off. They'll go for still on a 3-2 count. Three balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Elder. Leary delivers this pitch. This one's going to walk Elder. So that puts a runner on the base for the Hardhats. And now this will pull the catcher, Carter Brager, as he grounded into the double play last time. So they'll get ready to go. He gets his final practice swings in. So Elder, who was walked, he comes in. All right, welcome back, everybody, here for Game 2 of the doubleheader here on Mother's Day, as the Hardhats took a 12-6 loss to the Missoula Mavericks in Game 1. But starting on the pitcher here in Game 2 for the Post-22 Hardhats will be number 13, Ryan Negebauer, as he gets his call on the season. We'll take a look at his stats. And Negebauer entering the series, as he led the team in innings pitched with 12. He has a 2-0 record. He has 21 strikeouts. He's walked 11 batters with a earned runs against average of a .583 and a whip of a 1.25 for Ryan Negebauer. So this is what the lineup will look like here for the Post-22 Hardhats. From 1 to 9, third baseman Aiden Roberts, followed by number 19, center fielder Lars Kiefer. First baseman Wyatt Reeder, he played second in that last game. Kay McLeod playing at left field. The DH today will be Jace Morgan. At right field will be Carter Johnson. At catcher will be Josh Eller. He was DH last game, and Carter Brager was behind the plate. And at shortstop, Dawson Inhofer. At second base will be Blaine Hunt. So that's what the defense will look like here for the Hardhats. And leading off for the Missoula Mavericks will be their center fielder, Carter Taylor. And Taylor, he had a big opening leadoff hit. Both of these two leadoff hitters, Roberts and Taylor, both hit leadoff doubles to start the game. So we'll see where here. So Negebauer will get his final throws in. And ready to go for Game 4 of the 4-game series, as the Hardhats swept the Mavericks yesterday. The Mavericks, which won 12-6 in the game just a little while ago. So here we're ready to go. And now Carter Taylor steps in the box, and the infielders and the pitcher and the catcher all get together and clink the Hardhats.
Fielder number 2, Carter Taylor.
So Taylor also hit a triple in the game earlier. On deck for the Mavericks will be playing catcher for them, number 7, Ryland Davis. So Elder will come here behind home plate. The sun is out now. Clouds are gone. And now Negebauer ready to go here for his first pitch thrown. He's a 2-0 record, 2 wins, no losses. And here comes the first pitch. This one down low. That will go down in the dirt and up. Elder stopped it, but for ball 1. So 1-0 count for Taylor to lead off. Negebauer deals. Here comes the pitch. That one also down low. That'll be for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here in the first inning. And Negebauer, here comes the pitch. That one down low again. That'll be for ball 3. So to a 3-0 count to start and to lead off this game. Negebauer loosening up that right arm. Here comes Negebauer. The pitch goes, and that's going to walk Taylor. So Taylor, the first batter, will get a
number 7, Ryland
walk.
Davis.
And now Ryland Davis, as he will come here up to the batter's box. So 4 pitches, all 4 balls. And Davis, who played left field last game, and then his first at-bat, he had an RBI single. And this one's going to go in for strike 1. So the first strike thrown for Negebauer. And he will start this at-bat 0-1. On deck, Coulter Nico Larson playing second for the Mavericks. And a throw from Negebauer to first. And safe. Reeder playing back at first. He's played a few games there. The last game he played at second. Blaine Hunt, who didn't play in the game earlier today. And he will come in playing second. And Negebauer with the pitch. That one will go down low. That's going to be for ball 1. So puts the count to 1-1. 6 pitches in for Negebauer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Negebauer takes a look over at first where Taylor is. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to go outside. Elder popped up quick, seeing if he want to throw to first. So that's going to be the second ball for Davis in this count. 2-1. Negebauer getting his final touches before he'll throw this pitch. Here it comes. This one's swung on, into the dugout for the Mavericks. Hopefully everyone's all right. So now that puts the count to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Negebauer gets some extra grip on the ball. Still with Taylor at first. He'll take that look over again. Negebauer throw to first, and Taylor gets back in time. So taking a second here on the mound, Negebauer ready back. Eller will give him a call. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer. That one's going to go for ball 3. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Still no outs here in this first inning. Second batter of the game. For number 7, Ryland Davis. So the 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer. This hit, that's going to squeeze on through in between second and first. So that's going to be a single for Davis, and now the runner rounding second, so he's going to go to third, as that was Taylor. So Taylor at third, and now the single there from Davis. So this will bring Coulter Nico Larson, the second baseman, up to bat. So the first hit of the game.
Second baseman, number 10, Coulter Nico Larson.
So first hit of the game for both teams. An error for the Hardhats. So Negebauer, again, shaking up that right shoulder, trying to get that more loose with runners at first and third, no outs. First pitch for Nico Larson's at bat. And this one's going to be up high. That's going to be for strike 1. So 1-0 count. Takes a look over at first. Reeder with 1 foot on the base, ready to go if need. Here comes the pitch for Negebauer. That one in for strike one. So 1-1 count. We'll start off with Nico Larson, the third in their batting order. Negebauer, one final look over at first base, turns the back to him. Here comes this pitch. This one's going to be down for ball 2. That was dropped by Elder. So 2-1 count, still no outs here. 13 pitches in for number 13, Ryan Negebauer. And he gives him, here comes the pitch. This one will be down low. That's going to be ball 3. So to 3 balls, 1 strike for Negebauer. Hardhats took their first loss of the season in game 1 of this doubleheader. This is game 2. So 3-1 count for Nico Larson. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer. This one will walk him. So that will put bases loaded. Nico Larson.
Now hitting number 9, third baseman, Owen Felton.
So Owen Felton, their third baseman. He will come up. Elder will have a quick talk here with Ryan Negebauer on the mound. So first pitch of the at-bat here for Felton. He steps back in the box. Negebauer will take another second with bases loaded, still no outs. 15 pitches in. Negebauer, as he winds and deals, here's the pitch. Swung on by Felton. This one's going to pop up foul. So that will go for strike 0-1 to start this at-bat with Felton. Negebauer gets ready to the 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. This one, dropper. That one's going to go up high. That'll be for ball 1. So evens the count to 1-1. Runners are on third. Carter Taylor at third with Davis at second and Nico Larson at first. Negebauer, here comes this pitch. This one swung and a miss for strike 2. So 1-2 count. Negebauer one more strike away from the first out here in this first inning. And now Negebauer winds and deals. Here it comes. This one will go down. That's going to be for ball 2. Back to an even count, 2-2. Negebauer trying to find some more grip. So he gets the call from Elder behind the home plate. Still waits on the call. Negebauer gets it. Here it comes. And that one right down the middle. That's going to strike him out. So the first strikeout for Negebauer as he caught Owen Felton
Number 13,
watching.
playing first base, Easton Reimers.
So Negebauer gets the first out of this game and his first strikeout as well. So this pulls now playing catcher, Easton Reimers, or first base. And he's going to hit this one into right field. This one is going to stay fair. So that's going to bring 1 score in. Right fielder Johnson's under it. There's 2 for the Mavericks, and he was rounding third, but he's going to stay there. So 2-0 is a score following the 2 RBI double for Easton Reimers.
Number 18, the designated hitter, Remington Howard.
So this will pull the DH, Remington Howard up. So Taylor and Davis both came in with that run. Both got runs, with Nico Larson now at third and Reimers at second. So the first one here for Howard, which in last game Howard played at right field. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Playing designated hitter for game 2 of the doubleheader. So to the 0-1 count. Negebauer, here comes the pitch. That one down low. That's going to be for ball 1. So 1-1 count. Runners are on second and third with only one down. 2 hits already here for the Mavericks, and they're up 2-0 early on in this game. Game 2 took a 12-6 win in Game 1. Here comes the next pitch from Negebauer. Swings and misses. Strike 2. Puts the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Missoula and Hardhats, they both shifted some of the players and positions in their lineups. Like Elder, he was the designated hitter in last game, and now he's behind home plate. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer. Right down the middle, another strikeout for Negebauer. That's his second of the game. So he now strikes out
Shortstop,
Felton
number 5,
and
Caden
Remington
Tennis.
Howard. And now this will pull shortstop Caden Tennis up to the plate. So with 2 outs here in this first inning. Negebauer waits the call here from Josh Elder. So he gets it. He turns over at third base for the right-handed thrower. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer. That one up high, ball 1. This goes to the ball count first. For 1-0, 2 outs. And a 2-0 lead for the Mavericks. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to go downstairs for ball 2. 2-0 count early for Tennis. Tennis played catcher last game, now playing at short. So to the 2-0 count, Negebauer's pitch is going to go down low again, ball 3. So 3-0, 2 outs, runners on second and third for Missoula. And he gets a few more final touches here before he's going to give the 4th pitch here of this at-bat. 3-0 count. Negebauer gives this pitch. This one's going to be in for strike 1. So 3-1 count. 2 would come now. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Negebauer takes a quick look over at third. Here comes the next pitch. This one is going to walk Caden Tennis. So he's walked Taylor and Tennis now. And now this will pull the right fielder Andrew Richardson.
Number 17, playing right field, Andrew Richardson.
So Richardson now hitting 8th in the lineup. In the first game, they went through almost their whole lineup in the first inning. So with bases loaded, here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. Swings and misses for strike 1. And Richardson was also, he played DH last game, and now he's playing at right field. To an 0-1 count early. Negebauer's pitch comes, swings. This one's going to foul left. So it goes 0-2 in the count. So no balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. First inning. Hardhats are the home team, so they will get the pitch first. So the 0-2 count, Negebauer. Here comes the pitch. This one goes outside for ball 1. 1-2. Bases remain loaded. 2 hits as well for the Mavericks, with 1 error for the Hardhats. Negebauer on this pitch. This one is going to be outside again for ball 2. Evens it right back up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Negebauer gets the call from Elder. Here's the pitch. This one up high, ball 3. So full count, 3 pitches in a row for 3 balls. Back in the box steps is Richardson. Here's the throw. That one's in for a strike, gets him. So 3 strikeouts for Ryan Negebauer. And that's going to do it for the top of the first inning. A 2-0 score for the Mavericks from the 2 RBI double from Easton Reimer. So we'll take a quick second, and starting pitcher for the Missoula Mavericks will be Bryce Ostrom. We'll be right back. So leading off for the Pulse 22 Hardhats will be third baseman Aiden Roberts. Had a big day himself yesterday. So the final few throws here from their starting pitcher Bryce Ostrom, who was hitting last game, and then they moved Devin Leary, who pitched the entire game, and now he'll be hitting 9 for them and 11. So Roberts will lead off, the third baseman for the Hardhats.
Leading off, third baseman, number 10, Aiden Roberts.
So looking for his first pitch here in the bottom of the first, leading off for the Hardhats. Here comes the first one. Roberts will swing on it. This one is going to be a ground to third, to throw to first for out. So first pitch in, we're already one down.
Number 19,
from the ground,
center fielder Lars
ground
Kiefer.
out from Roberts. So Lars Kiefer, he will come into bat now, playing center field. In the last game, Kiefer, his first hit of the game was an RBI double, which brought in a run from Aiden Roberts. So the first pitch will go down low for ball one. 2 pitches in for Bryce Ostrom with one down already. So 1-0 count. Here comes the next one. That one goes up high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Kiefer re-enters in the batter's box. Here comes the next one. That one's swung on by Kiefer. This one's going to go to the right field. He's going back towards the wall, and this one is gone. Lars Kiefer, a home run. And that will make it 2-1. So that's his first home run of the season for Lars Kiefer over the right field wall. And he didn't owe you no run. He was running hard around the bases. So he'll get the line of high fives. So 2-1 now is the score. Pulls all the runners off. 4 pitches in, already a home run. So Wyatt Reeder playing first base. He comes in now. And here comes the first this at bat. Reeder's going to hit this one high up. Ostrom, the pitcher, is under it. And this is caught, so Reeder pops to the pitch. And that'll be the second out, following from the Kiefer solo home run. And now this will pull Kane McLeod, the left fielder.
Left fielder, number 27, Kane McLeod.
All right, so McLeod, as he steps in, hitting fourth in the lineup. And this one's going to go in for strike one. You watch that one go in and go through. So the 0-1 count, 2 outs following the pop-up from Reeder and the ground out from Roberts. This next one goes outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Each team now have a hit on the board. This one will go down low for ball 2. So on the 2-1 count, this one down. Now we'll go for ball 3. And McLeod also open with a double. Had a double and a single and was walked once in the previous game, the first game of the doubleheader. Here comes the next one, the 3-1 count, in for strike 2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes for Kane McLeod with 2 outs. Hardhats dugout pumping him up. Here comes the next pitch. This one swung on by McLeod, and the ground there to short. The throw over to first is in time. So that will do it for that bottom of the first inning. We saw a solo home run from Lars Kiefer. And we'll be right back here as Ryan Negavalrida's warm-up throws in. We'll see you here for the second inning. So as Ryan Negebauer gets his final warm-up pitches in, and leading off for the Mavericks will be their left fielder, Devin Leary. Got the win in the previous game. He was the starting pitcher, pitched the entire game. So the final throw there from Josh Elder. Back at the bottom of the order, as it was a 2 RBI double from Easton Reimers to get the 2 runs on the board and the 2-1 lead for the Mavericks over the Hardhats. So we start the second inning off. 2 hits for the Mavericks. First pitch from Negebauer, and this will be down. Oh, that's going to go in for a strike. So 1 strike.
Left fielder number 11, Devin Leary.
Starts it off with a strike to 0-1. Negebauer gives the pitch. That one down low. That'll be for ball 1. So to a 1-1 count. For Ryan Negebauer. For Leary, he's going to get a piece of that one. He'll foul tip. And it might have got a piece of Elder. It goes right behind him. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Negebauer will get a new ball here from the umpire. So dusting off home plate. Look it, so you can see it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Leary, the outfielder in the box for the Mavericks. And Negebauer with this pitch. This one's swung on. This one's going to get hit to Inhofer at shortstop. The throw to Reeder in time for out, so the ground is short. So that brings Carter Taylor back up to the plate. He was walked his first at-bat.
Carter Taylor.
And he also has a run with that in that first inning as well. So 1 already put away following the ground out from Devin Leary. Negebauer with the first pitch to hit this at-bat, swung on by Taylor straight to Roberts at third base. And the throw to Reeder just in time with time to spare for out number 2. So now that'll bring Rylan Davis. Had the first hit of the game, and he had that single, and he also has a run as well.
Catcher Rylan Davis.
So Davis gets in his final practice swing before stepping in the batter's box. 2 outs already here for the Hardhats following that ground to third. Here comes this one. This one's going to go down low, down in the dirt for ball 1. Elder backed it on up. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Negebauer, this one's going to get hit. Inhofer can't make this slide to get there in time, so that's going to be a base hit. And McLeod, the throw from left field and in. So another single for Davis, 2 for 2. And now that will pull Coulter Nico Larson up.
Second baseman, Coulter Nico Larson.
And he has a walk as well, playing second base. So with a runner on first, following that single that squeezed right on past shortstop Inhofer. And Negebauer takes a look over at first. Here comes the pitch. This one's swung on this one to right field. Johnson's going to get under this one, back to the wall, and that's a home run. So a 2-run home run from Coulter Nico Larson, and that's going to put it to a 4-1 game. So it bounced out. It bounced in the outfield and it went over. As there's some confusion between the two. So they will get a discussion here. So one of the coaches will have a quick talk here. So they say it bounced in the infield and then over the fence, so that would just be an automatic double. Both the umpires talking to each other right now to discuss what the final ruling will be. So they say a 2-run home run. So it is going to be a 2-run home run, so it still makes this game a 4-1 lead for the Mavericks. And now manager Kelvin Torvey will have a discussion with the home plate umpire. So now that will pull Owen Felton, the third baseman, up, which gave Ryan Eggebauer his first K of the game as he struck out. So the manager still talking here with the home plate umpire. Hit into right field. And went over the fence for, as they called it, a 2-run home run. So the discussion we call, and now we go back to playing baseball. So a 4-1 lead following that 2-run home run from Colter Nico Larson.
Now hitting third baseman Owen Felton.
So Eggebauer, 44 pitches in. Here comes the pitch. This one will go up high, ball 1. So 1-0 to start this count. Felton went 0 for 4 last game and a hit from on the third base line. That one, Roberts the throw, and that's going to get out. Reeder, great throw from Roberts and a great catch from Reeder. So that's the third out. And in that, we saw a 2-run home run from Colter Nico Larson to make it a 4-1 game. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back to start the bottom of the second. So leading off for the post-22 Hardhats will be Jace Morgan, the designated hitter. As we saw Lars Kiefer, so 2 home runs already here in this game. We saw a solo home run from Kiefer, which was the first, and then the 2-run home from Nico Larson for the Mavericks. So Morgan, the left-handed batter, as he steps into the batter's
Designated
box.
hitter number 22, Jace Morgan.
So 11 pitches in for Bryce Ostrom, starting pitcher for the Mavericks in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Here comes the first one on a bunt from Morgan. This one's going to get played into third. He's going to scoop, and the throw is not caught. So that's going to be a single for Morgan. The throw was there, but Reimer's on first base. Never had it in his glove. So this will have right fielder Carter Johnson up at bat. Johnson, who pitched a little bit in that 7th inning.
Right fielder number 23, Carter Johnson.
As Johnson, he did have a sacrifice hit his first at bat in the last game. So with Morgan on first. The first pitch will go in for ball 1. So the sun will go down and the wind will start to pick up on again. So 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Ostrom takes a look over the shoulder at first base. Here comes the next one. That one's going to be in for strike 1. So Johnson let that one take. Morgan takes his leap off of first. Ostrom with the pitch. Morgan's going to take off. He's going to steal second. The throw from catch is going to be safe. So a stolen base from Jace Morgan. And now 2 balls, 1 strike for Johnson at bat. So with Ostrom, takes a peek back now at second where Morgan just stole. Here comes the pitch, and Johnson hits this one. This one's going to go to center field, And he just has to walk back. So Morgan will tag up from second to third, and that was going to be get in. So Morgan moves into third with 1 out. From the pop to fly to center. This will now have Josh Eller, the catcher, come up as he was the DH in game 1. And Elder, who struck at his first at-bat, had a single and was walked in the first game. So with Morgan, who tagged
Number
up.
21 catching today, Josh Elder.
So he went from second to third with only 1 out. So Ostrom, here comes the pitch. This one's going to go inside, or they're going to count it as a strike. So 0-1 to start Elder's at-bat. Here comes the second pitch. This one's going to go outside for ball 1. So 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out with Morgan on third. Here comes the next one. Elder let that one fly by. That's going to be for ball 2. Morgan, which is eyeing that ball down to see if he wants to take home. So to the 2-1 count. Ostrom with the pitch. This one's swung on by Elder. This one's going to be popped up high. Third baseman is under it, and it is caught. So Elder, foul ball by third.
Shortstop number 12, Dawson Inhofer.
So Dawson Inhofer, the shortstop, comes up with 2 outs. So Inhofer hitting 8th in the lineup. So Morgan's still off of third following that foul ball that went to third base from Elder for the foul ball catch. So the first of this at-bat goes for ball. So Inhofer will start on a 1-0 count. Ostrom pitch, this one in for strike 1. So starts to 1 ball, 1 strike. Ostrom the pitch, this one in for strike 2. Caught Inhofer. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And now Ostrom with the pitch. This one is going to be in for, or no, they say ball. Ostrom thought that was a strikeout. So 2-2 is the count. Still 2 outs. Morgan all in third base. Inhofer, here's the pitch. This one's going to go outside for ball 3. And getting under that one is their catcher, Davis, which that one just rolled to the right of him. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ostrom on the mound. Here comes the pitch to Inhofer, and did he go? And now he's going to walk him. So Inhofer will take first base with that walk, and now this will pull Blaine Hunt, the second baseman, up at bat.
Second baseman number 11, Blaine Hunt.
So Davis will give a call here to his infielders. So now with Inhofer at first and Morgan at third, with 2 outs, puts Hunt up in a situation here. Ostrom, here comes the pitch, taking off his Inhofer, but a foul ball. Foul tip. So starts 0-1 count as Inhofer, who took off from first. Blaine, freshman from Rapid City Stevens High School. So no balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Pitch from Ostrom, swung on by Hunt. This one is going to drop into center field. So that's going to be an RBI single for Blaine Hunt, which pulls Morgan in. So now 4-2. So Morgan comes in for a run. RBI single for Hunt.
Leadoff number 10, Aiden Roberts.
So back to the top of the order, Roberts, who grounded to third base his first time up. So with Hunt now following that RBI single, he sits at first. With Inhofer at second. Ostrom the pitch coming. That one's going to go up high, ball 1. Roberts staying calm with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Still trail by 2 for the Hardhats in a 4-2 game. This one ducking out of the way is Roberts, avoiding getting hit. Goal for ball 2. 2-0, 2 outs. Ostrom takes the look back at second. Inhofer, who has that lead. Hunt jumps off first, and that one in for strike one. 2 balls and a strike for Roberts at bat. Hunt will take his lead off of first, so will Inhofer at second. Inhofer takes off to third, and so does Hunt to second. So stolen bases for both. So Hunt and Inhofer, stolen bases. So 3 balls and a strike with Roberts. He's going to get a piece of this one. That's just going to foul off right above us. So it goes to full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 34 pitches total here so far for Bryce Ostrom. Here comes the next one. This one's swung on by Roberts. This one's going to get hit to Reimers, the first baseman, and that's going to be caught. So the pop to first will put the second inning away. We saw an RBI single from Blaine Hunt, in which he brought in Jace Morgan to make this game 4-2. As we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here to start this third inning. Ryan Negebauer getting in his final throws here, and now leading off here in this third inning will be number 13, Easton Reimers, who had that 2 RBI double,
Number
which
13,
made it 2-0.
Easton Reimers.
Which made it 2-0 here in this game. So Negebauer for the first pitch, 46 through 2 innings of play. Here comes the first one. That one in for strike one. Reimers watched that one all the way through, right to Elder's glove. So the 1 count, this one in goes outside. So the 1-1 count. Next ball. Paul Richter, trainer. This one down in the dirt. That'll be for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike for the leadoff hitter on Easton Reimers. Playing first base. Here comes the next one. Reimers hits this one into right field. Johnson's going to get under it. What a great catch. Carter Johnson makes the catch. Diving play to get that left hand there, and he did. So the play from right fielder Carter Johnson.
Designated hitter, number 18, Remington Howard.
So first out here of the third inning. And now the DH, Remington Howard, struck out. His first at-bat. Now Negebauer 50 pitches in with 3 strikeouts. Here comes the first pitch of this at-bat. That one up high, ball 1. Ryan Negebauer looking to add to his win total today. Here comes the next one. This one in. That's going to be for strike 1. First of this count. So 1-1 with 1 out. Following that big catch made in right field by Carter Johnson. Here comes the next one. This one's going to get hit. This one into center. Kiefer. This one's going to drop. So that's going to be a base hit for Howard. So the runner on first now. And this will pull Caden Tennis, the shortstop, who has walked his first at-bat.
Tennis.
So Tennis with the runner on first now with 1 down here in the top of the third inning, a 4-2 lead for the Mavericks. Negebauer with the first pitch. Sween's got a foul tip on it, but it will go for strike anyway. So 0-1 count for the first pitch of the at-bat to Tennis. Negebauer takes the peek over at first. Negebauer another look over that left shoulder. Here it comes. This one's going to get hit. This one into center right. This one's going to get dropped. Kiefer, who is sliding, Johnson hops over him, so they're going to have a run around third, or stop at third. So that's going to be a double for Caden Tennis. So Andrew Richardson, the right fielder, struck out his first at-bat. He's up next.
Number 17, Andrew Richardson.
So runners at second and third with one down, as Howard on third and now Tennis on second. So Reeder, the first baseman, is all of them are going to come in closer here. Staying off second is Tennis. And think about it, this one's going to be swung on this one, up and in the tree. So for 0-1 count to start off. Again, that wind starting to pick up. The clouds come over. So 0-1 with one down. Negebauer. Here's with this pitch. This one's going to go outside for ball 2. Or 1-1, sorry. First ball of the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Negebauer delivers this pitch. This one's swung on, fouls off again. So 1-2 the count. With Andrew Richardson, the right fielder. Runners on second and third for the Mavericks. Negebauer gets the call from Elder. Here's the pitch. This one's swung on, fouls off again. Fights on the 1-2 count. With 1 out here in the top of the third inning. 5 hits for the Mavericks, 3 hits for the 22 Hardhats. And Negebauer will take a step here off the mound. Negebauer takes a second, re-steps back on the bump. He waits for the call from Elder. The glove over the mouth. Shakes the head, no, he doesn't want that one. Now he gets the call. Here comes the pitch, this one outside, ball 2. So 2-2 count for Richardson. Got a time here, as there's a ball in the left field, as K. McLeod will go back to throw that one over. So ready, good to go. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. 4-2 game in favor of the Mavericks. And now Negebauer here with the pitch. It comes down the middle, hit on by Richardson. Reeder, and this one's just going to foul off. So stays alive on a 2-2 count. That one on that first base line. Just hooked a little right to go for a foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Negebauer gets the call here from Elder behind the plate. Swing and miss and a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Richardson, and that's going to be the 4th strikeout for Ryan Negebauer today. And now this will pull Devin Leary up to the
Left fielder,
bat.
Devin Leary.
Playing left field as he grounded to shortstop his last time at bat. So runners still on second and third. Negebauer, here comes the pitch. Swings and misses is Leary for strike 1. So starts on the 0-1 count. 2 outs. Here's the next pitch, swung on. That's going to get a piece off Eller's head, and they're going to have a runner go off the wild pitch from third. He's in safe. So a 5-2 game now for the Mavericks, as that was Howard who comes in on the run scored off the wild pitch, which hit off the cage of Josh Elder. So now from a 2 to now a 3-run deficit. 5-2 is the lead for the Mavericks. So now only a runner on third, which is Tennis. 0 balls, 2 strikes. Negebauer on this pitch. It comes. This one is going to go outside for ball 1. So that was the first ball of the count. All 2 strikes, still 2 outs. Negebauer with no one on second base or first, a runner on third. Negebauer here with the pitch. This one, Eller wanted that one in the zone, and that's going to go for ball 2. Negebauer also thought that as well. So 2-2 following that pitch that Negebauer and Eller both thought were a strike. 2-2. That one in, and he gets him. So 5th strikeout for Ryan Negebauer. And in that inning, advancing on the wild pitch was Remington Howard to make it a 5-2 game. So again, we'll take another short break, and we'll be right back here for the bottom of the 3rd. And leading off for the Post 22 Hardhats will be Lars Kiefer. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 3rd inning. A 5-2 lead for the Mavericks. Entering the bottom of the 3rd, leading off Lars Kiefer. And Kiefer, the last time he was up, hit the solo home run over the right field wall. He didn't even know it was a home run. He was running as hard as he could around first and second base
Center
until
fielder
the
Lars
dugout cleared
Kiefer.
out. Then he finally realized he hit a home run. So, first leading off here in the 3rd, Bryce Ostrom still in the mound for the Mavericks. This one's going to go outside for ball 1. So it starts on the 1-0 count. Here comes the second pitch. That one inside down low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on deck. Wyatt Reeder. So 2-0 count. 3rd pitch down, hit the ground before it even got to the glove. So ball 3 for Kiefer. So this will be a 3-0 count. Ostrom, the pitch coming. This one's going to go in for strike as Kiefer wanted that one to be a ball so he could just have a 4-pitch walk. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. This one's going to go outside for ball 4, and that'll be a walk for Kiefer. So Kiefer walks. Wyatt Reeder, who popped up his last time up.
Wyatt Reeder.
So no runners. So with a runner on first and Kiefer with no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hardhats putting 1 run in both the 1st and 2nd inning. Here comes the first one. Reeder will take it for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. And the throw to first, trying to pick off Kiefer. He slides in safe. Again, a look over from Ostrom over at first base. And Kiefer will take off. Caught, and that's going to be a stolen base for Lars Kiefer. So Kiefer speedy off first. And now the 1-1 count for Reeder, the swing king. One ball, 1 strike. Kiefer takes off to third. This one's going to get away, but that's a hit by pitch. And they tell Kiefer to go back to second. So Reeder will take first base following the hit to him by the ball. So this will pull Kane McLeod up. Runners on first and second. McLeod, who grounded to shortstop his last at bat.
Number 27, Kane McLeod.
So we'll have a quick mound visit for Ostrom and the Mavericks. It looks like we'll see a pitching change. So Ostrom will go to the dugout, and they're going to pull their center fielder, Carter Taylor. So Taylor will start pitching as he was pulled from center field. As runners on first and second, as Kiefer, who was walked, and then Reeder, who was hit by pitch, and then Kiefer, who was trying to steal third base when Reeder got hit by pitch, and then home plate umpire told him to go back to second. So runners on first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the third inning, and a 5-2 lead for the Mavericks. Game 2 of the doubleheader here on this Sunday on Mother's Day. So Taylor will get his right arm warmed up. So with McLeod up at bat on deck, it is Jace Morgan, the designated hitter. Taylor, the right-handed pitcher, getting his arm warmed up. So we'll let him do that. Take a quick second, we'll be right back. All right, so Taylor throwing in his final few pitches. So Taylor, who will come in for Bryce Ostrom. So Reeder at first, Kiefer at second, and McLeod now at bat. McLeod, who grounded to shortstop his last time up, the left fielder.
Number 27, Kane McLeod.
So his name announced over the PA system. Kiefer will take off to third. So Kiefer adds another stolen base, stealing second and third. So now that puts runners on first and third with no outs, as that was a ball. So McLeod will go to a 1-0 count. So quick time called here behind the home plate will be Davis giving a sign to his infielders and Taylor. So first pitch thrown is a ball. 1-0 count. Here comes the next one. That one in for strike one. So McLeod is at bat, even up to 1 ball, 1 strike. Takes a look over at first. Reeder takes another inch away, and Reeder's going to take off the second, so Reeder's going to get a stolen base. So runners on second and third now with no outs. And a McLeod facing a 2 ball, 1 strike count with, here comes the pitch. McLeod's going to hit this one into center field. That's going to be in for an RBI single. Reeder will hold on third. And McLeod, so now 5-3 is the score. Hardhats still trail by 2. So Kiefer comes in to score.
Number 22, Jace Morgan.
And Morgan, the designated hitter, got a single his last time up, also had a stolen base. So runners on the corners at first, at third. Reeder swung on by Morgan. This one's going to foul to the right side. So he starts his count off to an 0-1. So it's an 0-1 count here for Morgan. Here comes the pitch. That one gets behind, goes through the wickets, and that one in. Scoring is Reeder. So now 5-4 McLeod, who was thinking about going to third. Now 5-4 is the score. Reeder, who advances off the wild pitch. So the Hardhats, who entering this inning were trailing by 3, and now they only trail by 1. Following the RBI single from McLeod that brought Kiefer in, and now the wild pitch that brought Reeder in. So 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch on McLeod, and now it's going to go for ball 2. With McLeod now at second base. 2 balls, 1 strike, 7 pitches in for Taylor. Here's the 8th, swung on by Morgan. That's going to be caught by Reimers, the first baseman, and he's going to get that one there, but advancing is McLeod to third. So ground to first. Now this pulls Carter Johnson as he flew to center field his last time up.
Number 23, Carter Johnson.
And Johnson, who made that great catch out in right field. A diving catch, so first out is the ground out from Morgan. This one's going to go in for strike 1. So Johnson does a little shimmy to shake off that strike. To the 0-1 count here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here comes the next one. Gets out of the way of that one. I was almost going to hit him in the knees. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. That one's going to go outside for ball 2. So to a 2 ball, 1 strike count with 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Taylor. That one, Johnson got a piece of it, fouls it, hits the fence. So now 2-2 the count. Johnson steps back in the box. McLeod on third. And a quick time called here by home plate umpire. He's ready to go. So Johnson steps back in the box to a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Taylor. This one's swung on by Johnson, and this is going to go foul. Looked like it was fair here, but foul ball. So 2-2 stays the count. Still with 1 out. Johnson, pitch coming from Taylor, swung on. This one's going to go through the gap at second. An RBI single from Johnson. We are tied 5-5. So an RBI single from Carter Johnson. It ties this game up, and McLeod, who will come in with a run.
21, Josh Elder.
So Josh Elder, the catcher, as he's now up, as he popped up, and it was a foul ball catch. So only with 1 out, that one's going to be in for strike 1. As a few little rain droplets will start coming here. 0-1 count, 5-5 game. Throw over to first, got him. So picked off at first. Goes Taylor. So rain's starting to come down a little bit more now. Oh, 2 count. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to go down in the dirt. So that will be counted for 1-2. Next pitch up. This one's going to get hit. This one left field. This one's going to get foul. Out of the park. So to a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. This one swung, fouls, stays alive on the 1-2 count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs with Elder at bat. This one's going to go down low. Goes behind the umpire for ball 2. So 2-2 count. With Taylor, the new pitcher, on the mound. Swings and misses. 3rd ball drop strike. So he will strike out. So that's the first for Taylor. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back here to start the 4th inning. Welcome back here. Now we start this fourth inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound here for the Post 22 Hardhats, number 30, Jaden Moreno. Moreno also pitched a little bit in one of the games yesterday.
Now pitching number 20, Brody Thompson.
Or excuse me, Brody Thompson. So Brody Thompson pitching.
Hitting out for the Mavs, number 2, Carter Taylor.
So leading off for the Hardhats will be Carter Taylor. Their center fielder also had some pitching as well. Came in for Bryce Ostrom. So Thompson with his first pitch. Here it comes. This one up high. That's going to be for ball 1. So a 1-0 count. First pitch thrown for Brody Thompson. Here comes the next one. That one's going to be in for strike 1. So the first strike he throws. To the 1-1 count. 1-1 count. Here comes the next pitch. Hit by Taylor off the mound. And this one's going to be caught by Inhofer. The throw to first is in time. A great play. Oops.
Rylan.
Catcher number 7,
Sorry
Rylan
about that.
Davis.
So Rylan Davis, after the ground to short from Taylor. So 1 down here. Davis hit a single his last at bat. This one's just going to escape out of the glove from Elder. And that's going to go for ball 1. So 1 out already here in the top of the 4th inning. 5-5 game. Both teams having 5 hits. And Davis having 2 singles today and 2 runs. And this one's going to go for ball 2. Brody Thompson pitching on the mound. Getting ready. Thompson winds and deals. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses is Davis for strike 1. So we caught Davis swiping in the air. So to a 2-1 count. Thompson, the pitch coming, swung on this one right up through the middle as well. So that's going to be a base hit, the 3rd single for Davis today.
Hey, let's go, Ted.
Game 2 of the doubleheader. And now this will pull Coulter Nico Larson up. Hit a 2-run home run his last time up.
Second baseman number 10, Coulter Nicolarson.
Nico Larson with 1 out here with a runner on first and Davis. Thompson. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be swung on. Fouls over the fence towards the right. So 0-1 count to start it off. So 0-1, 1 down with Nico Larson at bat. Davis on first following his single. Thompson the pitch coming. That one's going to drop. That's going to go for ball. So 1-1 count. The rain droplets have stopped for right now. Still some clouds over. Thompson on this pitch. This one in for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count with 1 out. Top of the 4th inning. Now Elder will have a quick talk here with Thompson on the mound. Nico Larson, his first at-bat for the second baseman today. He was walked. Brian Eggebauer, who walked 3 batters in that first inning. First to second inning. So with a 1-2 count with 1 down. Throw to first, trying to pick off Davis. He's going to slide in safe. So still in the 1-2 count. Thompson gives the nod, takes another look back at first. Reader's got the glove ready. Thompson, the pitch comes, swung. This one's going to go high into center field. Kiefer into right center. Johnson also under it. This is going to be caught by Johnson to the fly to right field. So puts that one 2 down. Davis still on first base. This will put Easton Reimers up at bat, who
Third
flew out.
baseman Owen Felton.
Owen Felton, third baseman. As his last at bat, he grounded to third base. He struck out his first. So 2 down. Thompson 11 pitches in. He gets ready with a runner on first. Here comes the pitch. That one up high, ball 1. So starts 1-0 with the count. 6 hits for the Mavericks. They now have 1 above the Hardhats. That's 6-5 for that hit ratio. Throw back to first. Reeder had to get that left hand out there quick, as that one was going over the left shoulder of his. So to a 1-0 count. Thompson again looking there at Felton, third baseman in the batter's box for the Mavericks. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 count, 2 outs. So right back in goes the box there for Felton to a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that one down in the dirt. Elder was under and back behind it. So ball 2. Thompson, who played catcher in yesterday's game. So to a 2-1 count. Thompson here comes with the pitch. This one goes outside. Elder's there. So 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3-1 count for Felton, third baseman who grounded to third base his last at bat. Here comes the next one, that one, and he will walk Felton. So Felton, first walk for him. That's going to be the first walk allowed for Brody Thompson. And now Easton Reimers up as he flew out to right field his last time.
13, Easton Reimers.
First at bat, he hit a 2 RBI double. That's how he kind of started to get some things going. The win again, starting to pick right back up. Still with 2 outs, runners on first and second for the Mavericks. Thompson is stare down at second here. This one goes outside as Elder is there. So 1-0. We'll start this count off with Reimers, first baseman, in at the box. Thompson again looking back and forth, takes a double take at second. Here's a swing. This one's going to foul up high right. Puts the first strike up on the big board, 1-1. The count, still a 5-5 game between the Hardhats and the Mavericks here in the top of the 4th inning. So Thompson gets ready, takes another look back at second. Here's the pitch, that one up high, ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Still runners first and second. Takes a look back at second, backing off is Inhofer. Here's the pitch, swung on by Reimers. This one to the right side. This one is going to go foul. So that was close. So Reimers will have to come back on a 2-2 count. So Thompson will get the ball back. Number 20, Brody Thompson, throwing 20 pitches so far since coming in here to the top of this, or in this 4th inning. So ready to go. Thompson takes another look back at second. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls. Here's the pitch. That one down. Eller gets behind it for ball 3. So for a 3-2 count. As Thompson shakes the head, no, he doesn't want that one. It's the call there from Elder. 3-2, backing off his in-hole for the short. Here comes the pitch. That one, so he walked. And the post 22 dugout disagrees. So back-to-back walks for Felton and Reimer. So puts the bases loaded. Still with 2 outs. This will put Remington Howard, the DH.
Number 18, Remington Howard.
Hit a single his last time up. Also has a run as well. So Thompson coming in this 4th inning. Here comes the next pitch. This one's swung on. This one's going to go foul. Elder goes back to get it. So starts on an 0-1 count for Howard. And some thunder rumbling. So 0-1 count. Takes a look back at third base. Thompson, here comes the pitch, and did he go on it? So that's going to be counted as a strike. So 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Back in the box goes Howard, the designated hitter. Thompson on the 0-2 count. Here's the pitch, and ball 1. Close to being in for strike 3. So 1-2, still a count. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Thompson. Here's the pitch. And that one, ball 2. So started on an 0-2 count. Some more thunder. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thompson on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Swung on by Howard. This one left field. McLeod is under it, and that's caught for the 3rd out. So Hardhats stayed to a 5-5 score here. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, so that's going to do it with some thunder and stuff happening. They are going to call this one a game. So 5-5 is the score here, and just got done through the top of the 4th inning. So they'll shake the hands. Thank you for joining us here for this 4-game series. in this Mother's Day doubleheader. This is Wyatt Simmons signing off. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.